When looking at this watch, it's clear where they got their inspiration from, the RM47 time of the Samurai. But if you don't have $1 million to spend and you're not a preferred client of Richard Mille, who spent millions in the past, then maybe the Wish Do It Armor is about the closest you're going to get. Welcome to the channel. I'm Chase, and this is all things random, mostly affordable watches with some random stuff sprinkled in between to include some luxury watches here and there. Mostly, I'm an average everyday guy who can't afford to spend 30 years of a 401k into a single watch. I have a feeling that you're probably the same type of guy. With that being said, we're going to hop into this homage of the RM47 time of the Samurai, the Wish Do It Armor. Now, outside of all that, we're going to look at this watch as an independent watch on its own, not just an homage. I don't want to do a comparison one-on-one because it's just not fair. One is $1 million, one is $399. Clearly, they're not the same. So we're not going to do that. We're going to look at the Wish Do It as its own independent watch, but understand this is an homage of a much more expensive watch. So let's just dive right into this review. Now, this watch comes in with a tornado-shaped case, which is of course indicative of RM and Hublot. This thing is PVD coated 316L stainless steel and is done quite nicely. The measurements come in at 42 millimeters wide by 50 millimeters tall and tapers down into an integrated fluorine rubber strap. One of the things that I do like about Wish Do It that a lot of other companies don't do is they offer the ability to change that rubber strap with another rubber strap. So you can buy another rubber strap and they actually give you the tool to take off those unique screws on the front of the case so you can get to that rubber strap and replace it if either it gets worn or torn or you just want to replace the color. This is something that's good that not a whole lot of homage companies do. A lot of homage companies like Feast will just say, nah, out of luck, just go ahead and buy another watch. Well, a lot of people can't afford to just throw away a watch because the rubber strap can't be replaced. Wish Do It said, you know what? You can buy another watch strap and we'll give you the tool to do it. This I love about the company. Now, outside the rather large wrist presence of the measurements of 42 by 50, this thing sits at 15 millimeters tall. So it is a rather thick watch, but that's indicative of any watch of this style. This is a piece of presence, so it is meant to stand out on your wrist, if that makes any sense. So it's not going to slip underneath the cuff. In fact, I don't know what cuff it can slip underneath at 15 millimeters. But outside of that tall height, we're here because of what's inside the watch. Covering that beautiful dial that is a Samurai is a curved sapphire crystal, which is really great to see. A lot of micro brands clearly haven't gotten the hint to use sapphire, but Wish Do It has. Past that Samurai, let's talk about what's inside the watch first. Inside the watch is an automatic movement, beating at 28,800 vibrations an hour and 80 hours of power reserve. They don't specifically say what kind of movement is inside the watch, which I'm not necessarily a big fan of. I couldn't find exactly what movement is inside the watch because I'd love to tell you it's a Miyota blank or it's a Miyota this or whatever, but I can't because they didn't really tell me on their website or any other research I did exactly what's inside of it. So you watch sleuths out there, this thing, when you function the time, does not have hacking. The second hand continues to move. 28,800 vibrations an hour, 80 hours of power reserve. I'd love to know, looking at this movement, exactly what movement it is. So leave a comment down below if you guys know exactly what's in this watch, because I'd love to know. Now, moving past that beating heart that's just behind the armor, at the 6 o'clock, let's talk about that Samurai on the dial, because at $399, what is Wish Do It offering us? Is it a $1 million watch? Well, of course not, because they've had to cut corners someplace, but the Samurai is done quite wonderfully for the price. If you look here at the mast just below the 12, you can see that it is beautifully done. I don't know how they do it. I don't know if it's machine. I know it's not hand engraved, it's machine stamped or whatever, but it's done quite nicely. Even the swords and the armor on the torso just above the 6 o'clock, I think is done quite well. I think that, of course, they've had to cut corners somewhere, quality control, when removing dust from like the hands or other parts of the dial. You know, there's going to be some corners cut somewhere, especially when you're offering something with so much detail at such a low price point. It is what it is, right? You're just going to have to take it for the price. But this thing could actually go for a lot more. I think that for what they did, if they put a little more quality control, this thing is worth at least twice as much. The Samurai is done quite nicely. The hands are done quite nicely. I love the applied indices around the dial. Those look beautiful, and I just love the look of the watch. Now, an RM or a Hublot style homage is not for everybody, and everybody knows that, right? It's not a Submariner homage or a Submariner or a dive watch that's going to slip underneath the cuff. This thing is going to bring eyes down to it. Now, here is where a lot of people have problems with these homages, because this is a homage of $1 million watch that comes in at $400, which means anybody can pretty much buy it if they save for any period of time. So, are you willing to wear an homage watch of $1 million watch? A lot of people aren't, because that's going to bring eyes down to your wrist, and then people in the watch community are going to think they were an RM47. Anyway, what do you guys think about this review? Again, I love bringing you guys these high-end homage watches because I have other things coming down the line. An example, the Baltony 1921, which is a direct homage from the Vacheron Constantin 1921. The one is $169, the other one is $33,000. I love bringing you guys this stuff because we all can't live in the high life, and I love living in the midlife of the USA right here because it allows me to bring you guys something that's more affordable. The high-end luxury watch channels are great, but not a lot of people can afford to buy a $80,000 Hublot or a $200,000 Richard Mille or even a $10,000 Rolex Submariner. So I love bringing you guys these more affordable watch reviews because it allows you guys to explore that watch community just a little bit more. Now, if you like videos like this, hit that subscribe button. If you've come this far, it's free. It doesn't cost you anything. It really does help the channel. Hit the like button, hit that notification bell, and again, leave a comment down below of not just the movement you think the watch is, but the content you'd love to see on this channel. All things random, mostly watch reviews with some random stuff sprinkled in between. I'll see you guys in the next one.